It appears as though Tim Pool is going to be kicking off 2025 by trading one head covering for another, as according to rumors and leaks and speculation, the entire Timcast, the Tim Pool, whatever, the entire suite of Tim Pool content is being gobbled up by Daily Wire, which is very interesting because there's also rumors that are out there. And then, I don't know, man, maybe this kind of shifts the temporary blame for what happened with the Brett Cooper situation that a lot of people are still finding very scandalous, myself included, how they could just go ahead and try to recast somebody. I don't even know the name of the chick that's taken over the comment section now, but it's very creepy how they think that they can just go ahead and slide somebody into a seat and everything's just going to be all hunky-dory. But it'll be crazy to see when this buyout, when this acquisition finally takes hold, because I got some information here. Tim Pool is reportedly selling his entire Timcast operation to the Daily Wire effective January 1st, sources conferred to the Media Right News. Now, one source told Media Right News that a Daily Wire employee has been questioning Timcast employees to determine whether they will be terminated, while a second said it is unclear which employees will retain their positions. And also, this is something, I used to be a big Tim Pool fan, and I've talked about this before, and he was one of the big impetuses for me to start my online presence. Him and Jeremy from The Quartering, actually. Both of those right there, because I took a look around the media landscape prior to 2020, but obviously I started my channel in 2020. But I looked around and I seen, the big dogs in the field, seeing who's at the top of the game and going, wow, that's it. You got repetitive ass Tim Pool who talks out of both sides of his mouth, and you got slow talking, monotonous workhorse from The Quartering. Those are the two best in the field. Well, I can do that. I can do that a hell of a lot better than them. So yeah, I do owe something to Tim Pool, given the fact he truly spurned me into action, something that, to be completely honest, I don't have many regrets in life, but dragging my feet and starting a YouTube channel is very much at the forefront of that. I got to give the devil his due. And so, I used to be subscribed to all of the different Tim Pool channels. After he did Adam Krigler dirty, I just kind of walked back my support. I hung around for a little while, but it was just kind of a weird situation. I'd punch in every once in a while, whenever he had a high-profile guest, like whenever Alex Jones would spurg out on there and check that stuff out. I thought that was interesting enough, but in general, I would just linger on the periphery and stopped watching any of his content, mostly because, him repeating the same stories over and over again. Oh, you know what it's like? Oh, you go over to the left wing and the right wing, they're like a bar across the street from one another, and then the one on the left, they'll kick you out, and then you go over, and then they'll say on the right side, oh, you want to have a drink? We'll cut down, and we'll discuss our differences, and then the left ones will come out and say, why are you associating with your biggest ists and phobes? It's like, bro, there's only so many times in one day we can hear that story told over and over again. We're good, thanks. I understand that, I make references time and time again, but I try not to be as repetitive because that was driving me insane in the late stages of listening to Tim Pool. But this is a guy, who has been threatening his staff with shutting down the entire thing, okay? Has been noted and documented as treating people like absolute shit, forcing them to move from, to Maryland and then to West Virginia, all because he wanted to go live on a chicken farm. And now, according to this, it is also understood Pool is moving to Nashville, and any employees retained will need to relocate after many were required to move to West Virginia to begin employment. So yeah, he's just being a selfish asshole. And obviously, when it's actually confirmed, because we're just simply going off of rumors at this point in time, he's going to use the justification, the same reason that he had his meltdown, what was that, like a month ago or something like that, when he was threatening to just go live in a van down by the river. Oh, I got a kid on the way, and I need to do this because of my kids. That's a coward's answer. I hate that shit. I've always hated that shit. People who never want to speak up for what they actually think. Oh, I can't do that because I have a kid. Oh, I need to look after my family. Oh, that's fantastic. Okay, so yeah, by just simply ducking your head down and just, moving, not rocking the boat or anything like that. What are you teaching your kids? To be a coward to get by? Fuck you, lazy, pathetic, absolutely pathetic. Oh, you don't understand. No, I understand. This is what a generation of just trying to keep your head down, just trying to get along to go along has brought us. Culture of cowardice. But anyways, need to get that out of my system, I guess. That thought process was really rekindled when, I heard, at least secondhand, because like I say, I don't watch Tim Pool that much anymore. I'm like, catch something he says every once in a while, and one thing that I did was him opining on the Brett Cooper situation, which we don't really have that much information on. She's kind of gone radio silent from as far as I can see, or at least when it comes to making any headlines. Maybe she needs to, wait like 90 days. Maybe that's how long the NDA is, the non-compete clauses or something like that. Who knows, right? But Tim Pool comes out and says, it all seems like an obvious contract stuff to me, wrote Pool on the decision, between the Daily Wire and Cooper to part ways. I assume Brett wanted more money. Daily Wire didn't want to pay more, even though she, as it seems right here, obvious contracts up to me. I assume Brett wanted more money and the Daily Wire didn't want to pay more. Him pass. I don't get why anyone would be mad. It's not like Brett can't keep doing videos. No, it's confirming exactly what Steven Crowder was talking about when everybody was trying to give him shit, including people that at the time worked for Daily Wire and then ended up feeling the wrath of that outlet. Looking directly at you, Candace Owens. Just how you will put in all of this work to build up this, in the comment section, YouTube channel, 4.5 million subscribers. That's crazy. And that was not because of the Daily Wire. Hell, I would argue that it was done in spite of the Daily Wire, because there's also rumors that, Ben Shapiro and Jeremy Boring's operation itself just could get bought out by Fox News, it bringing to fruition that I've been talking about for a very, very, very long time, that the Daily Wire is just Fox News with a better internet connection. And if you just figure out that, Fox News doesn't really have that much of an online presence. They desperately struggle with anybody under the age of 55. So them just trying to get like a ready-made internet presence to just buying up one of the biggest conglomerates in the space makes a lot of sense. But you also take a look at the Daily Wire viewership, and it's just boomer cons. It's Israel simps and never Trumpers. Like, that's it. The people that are already watching Fox News, the Daily Wire buying up Timcast, understanding that they don't really have like a big podcast interview space. Like, everybody that they have is just so painfully boring and continues to just spit out the exact same takes. You got Matt Walsh with horrific entertainment information and stances like, what is it? How demonic is anime this week? What is it? Video games are for kids. The one take that I actually agree with him on, it's like, if you take a sick day as a man, you're a bitch. You got Michael Knowles out there simping for every hoe that wants to, wrap themselves around the Bible to escape any sort of repercussions for their poor decisions. And then, has anybody heard from Andrew Klavan in the last year? Like where is that goofy talking freak? Perhaps he's doing some, voiceover work for that Bent Key Studios, what's happening with the Snow White production? Okay. Are you going to get that recast Brett Cooper to come and do that shit? Like, what are we doing? So don't build up anything in the conservative space, seeing that there's a problem that's there. No. Just simply try to enrich yourselves, which is exactly what they did with their media company. I called that out at the time when that was announced. I've never been high on any of their production, mostly because I don't like any of their hosts. I think Knowles was tolerable. Brett Cooper was the best of a bad situation, and Ben Shapiro has cashed in any of his cachet the moment that the Daily Wire got founded. Something else that myself and several other people have pointed to. It's like, whenever anybody gets a Daily Wire contract, and the reasons that they became popular and deserving of said contract to begin with, they just all kind of fade into obscurity. I mean, look at Jordan Peterson. Like, the guy was everywhere 2016, 2017, 2018, until he went to rehab for a couple of years and then came back, got a Daily Wire spot, and does nothing. Absolutely nothing. The only time that he pops up is when he has a horrific political take, which is part and parcel for being a part of the Daily Wire at this point in time. So take a look at Timcast to just simply cash the check, put his feet up, and do fuck all moving forward. If you thought his takes lacked edge beforehand, if you thought his spiciest opinions were about as round and smooth as his head, you just wait. You just wait until the beginning of the year when this Daily Wire deal gets announced, and you will not hear a single mildly spicy take moving forward. But let's go through a little bit more here. Okay, Pool additionally has already had Daily Wire as a silent minority partner in Timcast for months. Interesting. Kind of makes sense why he would be so cavalier about kicking out some employees, because he knows he's eventually going to have to do that. As news follows, Pool's confirmation following the federal indictment against Tenant Media was funded and directed by Russian nationals, that he will cooperate with the FBI. Oh, very interesting. Very interesting, because the Daily Wire has been partners, and actually didn't know this, but I was watching some of the Lotus Eaters, Sargon's election coverage, and he did a crossover real quick with Tim Pool, and it's like, where's he broadcasting from? That doesn't look like his regular setup. Perhaps things have changed recently, but he was doing the election broadcast from the Daily Wire studios, and if they've been silent partners for a couple of months now, Yeah, that kind of makes a lot of sense. Meteorite News contacted Poole to confirm the plans of the Daily Wire to acquire his business, but did not, as of the Post, and receive any immediate response. But yeah, in the convening days, haven't heard anything about this, okay? And I would imagine, like, I don't know his, content plans for the rest of the year, but I would imagine if they're going to be light, like if, Friday, if today ends up being the final day for the year, I'd imagine there'd be a big announcement for his return. And I think that there's a high degree of likelihood that this is real, because as Elijah Schaefer points out and confirms here, this has been known publicly, just public today, because some of his staff appear to have leaked the fact that, hearing that Tim Poole is seriously thinking about selling his entire media company to the Daily Wire. So yeah, it's the scuttle's going on in the right-wing circle. So yeah, this very much looks like it's going to be happening. So very transformative moment to kick off 2025, to be certain, and the entire entertainment political sphere. It's going to be very interesting, especially with Trump's inauguration and what he does in the first couple of days. His first 100 days are going to be very interesting, in the way that people approach that and take a look and dissect his decisions. Well, that's going to be something to watch, because there's going to be the independent space, then there's going to be the controlled internet space, then there's going to be the legacy space, and we already know, I've been talking about this for a long time as well, the old legacy outlets, your cable news outlets, are looking for a way to jump ship off of that dying platform and transmogrify places like YouTube and other establishment outlets to comport to their terms. This is just another step along the way to making that a reality. Not one that I like, but one we're just simply going to have to accept, because we can't deal with the way the world should be. We have to deal with it the way that it is. And as it sits right now, there's just opened up a gigantic gap in the independent space. So to be completely honest, I'm super excited for 2025. So with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.